How do you parent yourself when your parents won't? What I called the Great Eraser started when I was 6. Around the time, I realized my parents liked my brother. Ethan more because he was easier, cleaner, less expensive to keep alive. Doctors labeled me sickly before I could even spell the word. Eczema, asthma, peanut allergy. A list of triggers so long it sounded like a grocery receipt. Mom called it the burden. Dad called it the bill. Ethan got to play soccer, eat pizza at birthday parties, jump on trampolines with neighbor kids. I got EpiPens taped to my backpack and lectures about how I ruined weekends. You know we can't have a normal life. Because of you. Mom hissed one winter morning as she packed gluten-free muffins into a cooler. Other families can just go places. Ethan got a pancake. Breakfast at IHOP. I got to watch from the window while I ate rice cereal at home. When I cried, Mom said it was allergies to attention. By elementary school, the teachers had learned the script. They called me dramatic for panicking when frosting smeared on cupcakes traveled too close to my desk. She exaggerates, Mom told them. She's obsessed with being fragile. Obsessed. As if I'd chosen the anaphylaxis starter pack at birth. The real humiliation started in middle school, when Ethan figured out my allergies were good for entertainment. He'd wave peanut butter crackers in my face like a hostage negotiation, laughing as I backed away. His friends filmed it. Dad watched once and told Ethan, "Careful, if she dies, we'll have to fill out forms." Mom told doctors. I was overreacting when I begged for accommodations. Told schools I can eat anything. She just thinks she's special. Told restaurant servers I was being silly when I refused to share plates. None of them learned the ingredient lists, or the medication doses, or the emergency protocol, so I did. While other 12-year-olds memorized times tables, I memorized allergens, cross-contamination rules, and the differences between Cetaphil and hydrocortisone strengths. I kept spreadsheets of food labels. I knew which brands hid peanut oil under. Natural flavors. Learned how to cook because nobody else bothered to make food I could eat without choking. Neglect looks boring from the outside. It's just a kid reading labels alone at a grocery store. By 14, I was the only one in the house who could handle medication schedules or sterilize a kitchen. Mom bragged that Ethan was a natural athlete, while calling me our little hospital bill. When distant relatives asked about me, she said she's complicated. Ethan got invited everywhere. Tournaments, pool parties, sleepovers. I got isolated. Easier to manage that way. Less liability. The reversal came on a Thursday night in 9th grade, 2 days before Ethan's championship soccer game. Dad ordered takeout from a new place. Ethan scarfed down ceviche without checking it. By midnight, he was curled in the hallway vomiting and shaking. His lips were blue by 2 a.m. food poisoning. Raw seafood mishandled. It happens fast. But the wild part wasn't the illness, and it was my parents. They froze completely. Mom just kept repeating, "This can't happen right now. The scouts are coming Saturday," like bargaining with God through denial. Dad kept opening Google and closing it again, as if the cure would appear after the 5th refresh. Nobody checked for dehydration. Nobody monitored breathing. Nobody knew what to do, except me. I kneaded electrolyte packets into water, kept him upright, cooled his fever with washcloths, timed his breathing, tracked his vomiting intervals. At 3 a.m. when his pulse dropped, I called the hospital myself. "He needs fluids," I told the triage nurse. "Possible Vibrio or salmonella from raw seafood. He's tachycardic and cold. I can't keep him stable." Mom flinched like I'd spoken witchcraft. At the ER, the doctor asked, "How did you know to bring him in?" Before Mom could answer, the nurse nodded toward me. She did everything right. Most adults wouldn't have caught dehydration this early. Dad looked at me like he'd never seen me before. Not fondly, more like he hadn't realized I was capable of anything beyond costing money. Ethan didn't play in the championship. The scouts didn't come back. Mom cried like the universe had personally slighted her. Not once did she thank me. But Ethan did, quietly. In the car, a week later, forehead resting against the window, voice barely above a whisper. "You saved me," he said. "I'm sorry I was an asshole. It wasn't a miracle reconciliation. Just a crack in the wall. Enough air to breathe." When I left for college at 18, I packed my EpiPens, my spreadsheets, and the acceptance letter from a nursing program 3 states away. Mom complained about tuition. Dad complained about distance. Ethan hugged me at the curb and slipped a note into my pocket. "You deserved a normal life, too." Maybe I did, but I'd learned how to build one without permission.